as attraction increases, the transaction increases.
Kind of what mommy was three, exactly what she was saying. I agree with everything she was saying. So that's really
What do
it.
you agree with?
Just the part of like, sometimes, um, hold on, I have my thoughts together. Sorry. I'm like trying to get myself together for this call I have. But no, I guess like you're right. If someone's like lacking something, I would need something more from a different place. So, if you're fine as hell, you know what I'm saying, it might be a little bit more easier than a person who is not as sexy, or a person who has more money would need to do less than a person that didn't. So I guess that's just law. I mean, I don't think that's ever going to change. So
Oh, and just for the record, ladies, if y'all want to do an auction, like somebody send me $10 and
What
beat
are
out
you talking about?
I'm gone.
Y'all see you try to clean it up now? You try to put an auction?
That's how you know
Clean it
it's
up.
so lame. You gotta put an auction out on that shit. That shit is whack. The dick is whack. The head is whack. It's whack.
Well, go ahead, Ruth.
I agree in general. As attraction decreases, the transaction increases. And sometimes I think that's why men find themselves in these positions because they probably with somebody that is probably a little too out of their range, and that's why they're willing to do anything for her, and she's mistreating him. So if they can just stay with whoever likes them and who respects them and go with that, choose that way, then it wouldn't be so transactional. And I also believe that before marriage and commitment and loyalty and obligation and duty comes into play, this works. But if you're married to somebody, that's probably why we have so many divorces, because they want it to be transaction. You need to do this, you need to do that. Women can love somebody that they're not that attracted to, but yeah, I just think that that's kind of how it flip flops when you lose that attraction. But if you do them attractive, that's why you get a lot of Pookies and Ray Rays getting what they want, and a lot of bad behavior because these men are attractive. So they believe they deserve the world. Don't let them have money and looks. It's a problem. They don't want to be they don't want to be married anymore. They're too good for that. But you know, that's what it is.
Yeah, I like my man medium ugly. I don't want no pretty man. Mine's gotta be kinda, he gotta be kinda cute, kinda ugly.
Damn,
I
Mr.
like mine
Lego. Golly, boy.
pretty ugly. He gotta be medium
He
ugly.
taking L's all day, bro.
I used to say that. I used to say that until I had otherwise. So then I changed my mind.
He can't be too pretty. I can't do that.
Mr. Lego, please send her cash out back,
Pretty
bro.
enough is good.
Why? I'm not pretty. I'm okay with that. I'm a dude.
Look,
I'm supposed to be pretty.
that head ain't gotta have no face on it. Don't matter. He can be the finest
Ooh.
thing. I gave him his money. I need my head.
Exactly. I ain't got no problem with that.
Deposit. Ruth, I do have a question for you though. Do you is it problematic if the guy automatically is under the understanding that it's transactional? So, for example, if he understands that it's transactional, like he knows the only reason why I got this chick is because of this, and I'm cool with that.
Most men believe that, don't they?
Yes.
See, Ruth
they have to earn their respect.
I rock with you.
Yeah. We 1000% no.
Did I jump ahead to a trick question?
No. Actually, no. I'm glad you said that. You said something that I've been saying for a long time. A lot of dudes already understand the game that they're playing. So, like when we say, "Oh, this dude is he borrowing all his money on her. She only with him for his money." He knows that. He knows that he's there, that she's only there for the money. But he's cool with that because he knows
he
that
kind
I
of
got
believes. He still believe. Men with money still believe. Like, oh, she's not with me for the money. She not. They lie to themselves.
Certain men don't care. Like, you get a certain type of woman, he knows that he's going to have to spend for that woman. But if he gets this type of woman, he probably don't have to do all that. Men know exactly. We know what type of woman that we can pull, and what type of woman that is
We know
kind
our
of
limitations.
what we can pull.
I think you're using all men.
He's gonna have to do something
I
extra.
think you're doing all men. If some men still think they just be sitting there like, I can't believe she divorced me. If that's the case, so some men still think
No, that's
no
different.
way.
That's
We're talking about dating.
Okay.
We're talking about dating,
Okay.
dating somebody.
Yeah, now
Okay.
marriage, you know what I mean? No, well, that also, I would say I agree with you that some men don't know or don't understand that, but I think a lot of dudes, because your life, you inherently have to figure that out. So you know what I mean? Because the world has a way of showing you your limitations. So if you knew before money, you wasn't getting no hoes, and then after you got money, you got a bunch of hoes, and then one of them decided to marry you, in your mind, you like, I know that she's here, but for the most part, she's probably here because I got the money. Because that same chick wouldn't have got with you if you didn't have the money. So I think most men know and understand, but you're right that some dudes don't. But those dudes tend to be the ones that are surprised when they get the divorce. But
go ahead, Trey.
All right. So yeah, Jay, good arrangement again because it all comes back full circle. Inhibitions, standards, they're only for men that women don't actually like in real life, right? They're only like a chick will say, oh, you know, she got a 90-day rule or, you know, a 2-week rule, whatever. Not really. Not if she like you. All that stuff is out the window. And you got to understand they're just going to treat you completely differently, right? For the most part, right? If a woman likes you, you'll get a lot better results. That's why I always tell men, stop punching outside of your weight class. You have to understand what it is that you can obtain and don't press women. Go for the women that like you. They have to really like you. See how they respond to you, right? If you don't give them the woman fuzzies, man, she's not going to like you and it's not going to last. And as far as like the transactional situation, what you got to understand is that most men lean into whatever their strengths are. So if I know I puts it down, then guess what? I'm going to try to get her to sex as quick as possible so I could go ahead and start manipulating if that's what I'm trying to do, right? If I know that my only strength is tricking, then I just might go ahead and buy some tires, right? Or whatever, because that's how I know that I could go ahead and obtain some women because that's my strength. And that's why Sweeney was right when he said dudes.
I disagree with one part.
What?
I have a question. Yeah, do y'all really
y'all
like
need
the
to let me
woman?
finish it.
I'm sorry, but I do want
ahead.
you to. I want you to continue, but I do want to ask a question while you saying it. Do y'all really like the woman that likes y'all back? Like I don't feel like y'all do. In so many cases, like a woman can just be showing you this and that, and like she really like you. Y'all don't like this. Like, well, a lot of men. Well, some men
I'll put it like
don't
this.
like that.
I'll put it like this. It all depends on what environment you are. We can't put everybody into a box. We're only speaking in generalities, but there are plenty of men. I'm surrounded by a bunch of men with families who have been married 20, 30 years. That's my life, right? That's my reality. That's the people that I surround myself with. But I'm not dumb, and I understand that most of the average dating life, particularly as the generations get lower and lower, is getting worse. So I know that there's a lot of bad situations out there, but it's usually because of people selecting the wrong person. And I don't think that a person that's not a predator is going to see a person actually pouring into you and then you reject that, right? A sound man isn't going to do that. So you have to be careful who you're investing your energy into, right? That's the thing. You have, just like men, you say men may not like the women who is responding to them, then you have to think about, okay, why am I as a woman pouring into a man that doesn't appreciate me, right? So it's up to us as humans to discern that in the beginning, right? You know, because those red flags are always there. We usually ignore them, and we think that we could change them, and we think we could fix them, and we think we could build a bear, and that's where we start messing up. We can't do that. We have to understand, okay, this person actually liked me. This person is really doing for me. This person's not love bombing. They're genuine, right? And you don't have to be a dickhead to somebody who's pouring into you. A lot of people are with trauma, and let go will tell you probably should get that addressed before you get into a relationship, right? That's the main thing. That's the first thing that you got to get out of the way. The first thing that you need to subtract before you try to go into a relationship is get the trauma out. You have to, because you're going to bring that shit into the new one. You're going to be second guessing everything that they say. You're going to be doubtful. You're going to be apprehensive, and you could be blocking somebody out, which a lot of women do, men too, blocking somebody out because they don't want to get hurt first.
Right.
That's our defense mechanism. We don't want to be the one to be taken advantage of. But this was what I was talking about before. It would be great if we could just go into a situation in good faith. And if we work on ourselves, get ourselves to where we need to be, if you need therapy, whatever that looks like, you go ahead and do that. So when you go into a relationship with good faith, hopefully you find somebody else who is, and you have to pay attention to the signs early. And there's nothing wrong with having those conversations and communicating with people.